welcome to DWI Steelers segment, where we are your hosts. That's Duve, that's Wax, I'm Ellie, and we are DWI. So listen, fellas, before we get into anything, I'd like you all at home to do us a few things. Please like, share, and subscribe. So, without further ado, fellas, let's get started. Yo, fellas, Aaron Rodgers, is this happening right now? Is this a nightmare? If it's a nightmare, let me sleep. We talked about it, in previous episodes, and, at the beginning of last, week or so, that, they was really doing some serious dealings between the Steelers camp and Aaron Rodgers, and he finally pulled the plug. So, how you feeling about this, Uwe?
I mean, I just didn't like the way that they approached it, but now that he's here, I'm not going to cheer against him. I'm hoping the best. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to expect. It could go either way. It could go terrible or it can go pretty good.
Right.
So we'll see. Yeah. I'm pulling for him now. He's a Steeler. That's just what we do.
Right. Wax, how about you?
I agree with him, man. I didn't like the way that we were trying to court him, you know what I mean, and bring him in to the organization. But now that he's here, he has a couple weapons, you know what I mean? We could do a lot with him on the field, but it's just, it depends on him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But I'm not going to hate. I'm glad he's here because I wasn't too, cool with Mason Rudolph starting. And, we still got to bring our rookie up and put him through the gambit, I guess, Right. So, but I'm happy he's here, and hopefully we can rock out.
Nice. I'm okay with him being here. I agree with the both of you guys. I'm not going to, be the odd man out and just start throwing a rant and a rave just because we have a quarterback that may or may not be on his prime.
Right.
I'm not going to sit up here and, just go through the whole ringer of saying, I didn't want Rodgers to be here because he's a Steeler, just like you said. So welcome to the team, Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Quite frankly, man, I think that he's going to do a pretty decent job. He has a lot of weapons. I feel like, with him at the helm, he's going to be able to adjust and turn that offense into an A-plus offense more than it already is.
Right.
So let me ask y'all this. Do you feel like the target DK Metcalf is going to, he's going to excel and do exactly what he's come here to do?
Yeah, I think DK would do better with Aaron Rodgers than he would with anybody else we had, because, let's be honest. Aaron Rodgers still got an arm. It all depends on the offensive line for me this year. If they can gel and exceed where they didn't in the last couple of years, then we'll be all right. But because he don't have any legs, he doesn't have the legs to run around anymore, so he's going to have to sling it. And it all depends on the offensive line and Arthur Smith,
Right.
If him and Aaron can get on the same page, and but the thing about Aaron is if it starts to go bad, it goes really bad.
Right.
So that's why I don't know. We'll see. It's all a waiting game at this point.
Right. Wax, let me ask you this: what are you more excited to see, offense or defense?
Defense, truthfully, because I feel like we drafted all right. We got a couple key players. We got some young talent in there. I want to see what T.J. Watt does. I want to see, you know what I mean? And I think we can get back to being the steel curtain again.
Right. Do you feel like we have explosive weapons on offense this year that we didn't have in the previous seasons?
No, not really. I think we're basically the same team minus George Pickens.
Right.
So, you trade George Pickens off for DK Metcalf, we still need another receiver out there.
I agree.
So I don't know. I heard they're trying to find another receiver. I hope they do. I don't hope they don't, go out there and try to get another old guy.
Who would you like to see in that other spot?
I really don't know. I don't know who's out there. I don't know who's out there and who's available. I heard some I forget the dude. They were trying to get a tight end from Jonnu Smith. He's kind of nice, but he's a tight end, and we already got two.
Yeah.
So I don't know with that, but as far as wide receiver, I really don't know. I don't know who the options are out there.
Right. Wax, is there anybody you'd like to see filling that other slot?
I want to see your boy from Michigan come up.
Yeah,
You know
Roman
what
Wilson.
I mean? Yeah, like I know he was injured last year, but he was still nice. Like he was still nice because like we're gonna need somebody to take because they're gonna key on
DK.
yeah, they're gonna key on DK. So they might double team him. That's gonna leave somebody with a 1-on-1, or maybe two other receivers with a 1-on-1.
Right.
And I want to see them get their shit off.
Yeah, man, he got to be able to come up big in those major situations when everybody's covered. So I feel like defensively, I'm excited. This is Patrick Queen's second year, man. So I feel like this is going to have a real opportunity for him to gel with a team that he's had an opportunity to eat with and advance to the playoffs.
Right.
So, if you ask me, offensively, it's almost like a kid on Christmas who has his eyes closed. I'm anticipating it, but I'm nervous because if I don't get the gift that I wanted, I'm going to be pissed. Let's be honest, fellas. If I don't have that running back core back there, that 1-2 punch we always talk about,
that's what we need.
Jalen Warren and the young boy from Iowa.
Yeah, Johnson.
Yeah, so I feel like they should be able to sustain that offense run game.
Right.
We should have over 100 yards rushing every single game. That's why my expectations have been so high in the past.
And if we do that, my fault. We should go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was like, if we get the running game back to where it needs to be, like that'll take a lot of the pressure off of everything. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That'll take the pressure off of Aaron Rodgers. That'll take the pressure off of the defense because we can milk some clock.
Right.
That's really the key. But that's why I said the offensive line.
It's
the linchpin of this whole thing. If they don't get it together, it's going to be a hard season.
I was going to say it starts with the offensive line.
Right.
Like everything on offense depends on them to do their job, and I'm not too. I'm a little bit critical on thinking that they can do their job straight out the gate.
Right. I'm not really confident in it, but at the same time, I'm hopeful because this is a make or break year for Broderick Jones. Like this is the year he has to. This is his third year.
I was just about to bring him up.
He gotta step it up, and he's really the one that's like I don't know. Everybody else is pretty solidified. Even though we got basically a rookie at the right tackle, but he looked good in the few times that he played, and they said he's a stud. It's just Broderick Jones got to get that footwork better. And if he does that, I think we'll be all right.
Be in good shape.
Right. But defensively, like you was asking before, I think we'll be all right. I think we'll be good. It's I know TJ's up for a contract this year.
And he's gonna want that money. We talked about that before.
Yeah, he wants
Miles got his cheese.
Yeah.
He talked to Miles like, "Hey man, did you get the money?" He was like, "Oh, did I get the money?
Right.
I got the money.
I'm still here because I got the money."
Damn right.
Because he was talking about vacating.
Right, and then like as soon as he said that, he was like, "Shador, hey boy, you crazy." But yeah, man, hey, look, let me let you go, man. We're at a Browns get together, so I'll call you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I feel like secondary wise, do you feel like those pieces that are in the secondary that we got there now are going to be able to sustain what's coming towards us this season? And by secondary, I'm talking about Joey, JPJR, Minka Fitzpatrick, and Corey Trice.
Right.
Do you feel like they been talking this offseason like, fellas, we can't give up no more penalties by Handsy Joey and just outright getting burnt?
Handsy Joey.
Well, that's what I'm going to call him until he decides to put his, hands where they need to be at.
Right. Playing defense with his feet. That's where he needs to
make a play on the ball opposed to making a play on, your
receiver. Yeah,
correct. So, I'm going to keep calling him Handsy Joey.
Yeah. And he's a big part of the defense being good this year because he can't, this is his, third year too. So, and this is time to step up.
I think, he gets penalized sometimes when he shouldn't, though.
Just because of all the times he might have get away with it.
No. Just because of the times that he did get penalized and they just kind of, marked him as a, you know what I mean?
They're looking for it.
Yeah. But, I feel like we can, if we get out there and play like I know we can, we'll be nice. Right. Our defensive secondary will be nice.
Right. And that's why I'm hoping that the offense can keep them off the field a little bit more than we did last year because they were on the field. Towards the end of that season, I'm sure they were gassed. Because we was on the field the offense was never on the field because we was 3-and-out specialists for the past 3 or 4 years. We've been doing that, so like they was probably gassed by the end of that year.
Dude, I was just getting ready to say something about that. Reason being is, a lot of people make fun of us saying we had the highest paid defense out there. We have to have a high paid defense to be out there, man. Because if not, if we had a defense that was mirrored the offense, we'd be considered one of the worst teams in
That's a fact.
the NFL. Not just in our division, but in the entire NFL.
Right. And that's why football is the ultimate team sport, because the offense depends on the defense, even though they're not on the field at the same time. Like they depend on the defense to get them out of jams, and vice versa. The defense depends on the offense. When the defense, because you're not going to get a perfect game by anybody ever. So when the defense ain't playing right, the offense got to be able to play right, and vice versa.
And I didn't mean to cut you off, dude.
No, you're good.
I was going to say defense wins football games.
You damn right.
Like, we hang our hat on defense. That's what we do down here.
You grew up on it.
Exactly. So pay those men get to work, and let's hold it down. Like, I know we can.
All right, did you guys see the contract for Aaron Rodgers?
No. Yeah, I did. It was like what, $10 million a season?
Yeah, $10 million. It was $13 million. $10 million guaranteed, and then he has incentives that he can make up to like 19.
Okay.
So he, it's basically a $20 million contract, because I'm sure the incentives probably ain't too crazy. Maybe a playoff win, maybe get him an extra million or two.
Bruh, you get $6 million worth of incentives. I'm hitting each incentive. I'm not even gonna have a schedule up there. It's gonna be my incentives up there, know. And every week I'm gonna just try to hit those incentives. And if I do so, we should have a successful season.
Right.
Just by hitting my incentives, just by working my pay plan.
Right.
That's a big if, though. I mean, because Aaron Rodgers brings a lot of baggage to the field.
You're right.
Whether like his personal life, the whole schmovid stuff, and you know what I mean? So he has to leave that in New York. He has to leave all of that, because it's not the same market as New York or Green Bay. I mean, Green Bay really doesn't have a market, but you know what I'm saying.
I get you.
Like, you're going to get a lot of press, and people are going to be in your business in Pittsburgh. So get your mind right, basically.
And I want to see, the him and Tomlin, and like how they interact, and like if things start to go bad. I don't want them to go bad, but if they do start to go bad, it's gonna be volatile. You know what I mean? Because Aaron Rodgers is gonna get on Pat McAfee's show and start throwing little jabs here or there at the offensive coordinator or whatever. So, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be an interesting watch.
Is this on? Okay, Pat, I'm good. All the other 10 players out there that playing with me is good. The people that are getting everything in order, the girl that gets the Gatorade, she's good to go. But that offensive coordinator, but I'm not the coach.
Right.
I'm not Tomlin. Like, those are the innuendos he likes to do. He likes to just
and he's sneaky with it too, because he'll say it where it's like, is he talking shit? But he is.
Right.
So
let me ask you this, guys. If we say we make it to the playoffs, the first round of the playoffs, and then we lose, is it time for Tomlin to go?
Here we go, man. Why do we always allude to that? Like, how is that always, like, topic of conversation? Like, good morning, Mom. Good morning, Dad. Hey, y'all think Tomlin should get fired this morning? Like, it's 6 in the morning, Scotty.
Answer the question.
Dude, you answer it first.
Now,
man.
what was the scenario again?
If we make it to the playoffs and we get bounced the first round of the playoffs, is it time for Tomlin to go?
Well, I've already been saying yeah, but he's not going anywhere.
No, but I mean, like, just your opinion is what I'm asking.
Yeah. But I already think he should anyway. So yeah.
How about you?
Now,
Phil?
if we go and win a playoff game, or we can get to the AFC Championship or something, then I might change my stance. But,
okay.
Right.
What?
No, I'm just giving Tomlin your address. 445 Rutler Road. How about me? I'm keeping him. I'm pro Tomlin.
Okay.
I don't want to get rid of him and have to face him. That's just what it is, bro. He's a genius, and he don't get the credit just due. I feel like if we don't win, it's because of productivity and personnel misappropriation.
Which is
putting the wrong players in the wrong spots.
And who's the head coach?
It's Tomlin, but he's
Right,
not
so
he's not the
Tomlin.
position coach.
That
He's
falls
just not.
But he has the overall say.
He does.
So it would be his fault.
What about if it fails miserably?
What do you mean? This season?
Yeah. What if we have a Jets type season that Aaron Rodgers had last year?
Well, we got a Jets type quarterback, bro. So
what happens? Who?
And this is just me, and I'm speaking on behalf of everybody that's going to do three things. And I need him to do these right now, Wax.
What's that?
That's like, share, and subscribe. Because if you don't, we ain't going to move forward with the episode.
We ain't doing it.
Nope.
Matter of fact, shut this shit down.
Yep.
Oh, wait. No, they did. That's what
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
I seen a few likes.
You did?
Yeah.
They hit that little button.
Yeah.
The button is down there.
I heard him click.
Wait. Dude, shit. Good shit, bruh. But nah, listen. If you surrounded by clowns, be prepared to juggle. Not calling Aaron Rodgers a clown, but if we have a Jets-like season, that means that me and about half of all the other Steelers fans out, and I'm talking about in Steeler Nation, we got people in Russia, bars in Russia that are going to be watching that first playoff game. And if we lose, we're blaming him. And by him, that means Aaron Rodgers. He's solely getting the blame. And then we're going to go up the list. We're probably going to blame the Arthur Smith. And then some people may blame Tomlin.
You got to blame the guy who's responsible for bringing him here if he stinks.
From the top and go down.
Y'all act like Tomlin made the call. Like,
did.
Get Arthur Smith here. I don't want nobody else here but Arthur Smith. No, he didn't, bruh.
Who did?
Houdini. I don't know. I mean, you're up here asking me like I know, like I was in the room.
He's the head guy in the building.
But you act like every decision is his, dude.
It is.
So the draft picks are his.
Basically.
So you don't think something comes on his desk every time we make a move? Like, it doesn't get ran past him?
I do, but I believe it gets ran past him as a memo. Like, this is what's happening. This is what we're doing. You guys ever hear of micromanaging? I feel like whoever's
never been good.
Listen, I'm not saying that it is, but I feel like I said before, Tomlin is like the principal. He can't fire you, but he can make recommendations, meaning the principal can't fire a teacher. He has to get fired by like the school board and the superintendent. The principal can only make recommendations. Hey, I believe this motherfucker's not doing his job. He needs to go. That's the equivalence to the power that Tomlin has on that fucking organization.
Listen, there's reports out there that he's the only one that wants Aaron Rodgers.
Who's making those reports?
People that are in the building.
Do you know him? Have you talked to him?
I watched people that are in the building say that.
Okay, and nobody else has seen this.
But I watch more than you, and you didn't watch nothing. You're just going off of how you feel. I'm watching people.
No.
I'm watching people that know that are in the
but
building.
You're not telling me those people like they're confidential, like know.
DK Sports, my boy Chris Carter,
and they have access to people that's basically in their camp saying that Tomlin calls the shots on pretty much. You're saying he has control over 90% of that team.
Yes, that's how the Steelers operate.
I'm asking you, are you saying that? Okay.
That's how the Steelers operate.
Well, I don't know that, and I don't believe
the
it.
Steelers operate. They're a coach-centric team. They've been that way since Chuck Noll. They were that way with Bill Cowher. They're the same way. Just because Tomlin's black, you think they just stopped and was like, "Nah, we're in control now." No, he's been here this long. He has the most control in the building. So he's responsible. So same with when Russell Wilson, when they took Russell Wilson out, when they took Justin Fields out, nobody in the building wanted that except Tomlin. He made the choice. They asked him. He said, "I'm the Lone Ranger in this," and he did it. And it worked out for a little bit, but then he, stuck with the shit.
I was gonna say, and if he doesn't have that pull, what does that say? You know what I mean?
What do you mean? What does it say? That
Like,
means you're just
he's the head coach for what reason?
Listen, in certain spots, vice presidents and different things like that call the shots. The general managers, they're in some cases, not in all, they're just the face of the enterprise. Meaning you have to go through channels in order to get rid of people. Therefore, you have to go through channels to hire people. That doesn't mean you can just hire somebody just off the spot.
I understand that. But he's the head coach.
Okay.
He's been there for how long?
All right.
And if he doesn't have the responsibilities of making the final say in what goes on, then he's in the wrong profession.
I agree to a point.
And that's not taking any blame away from, because I think the main person to blame would be Art Rooney.
Rooney, yeah.
But Rooney just is asleep at the wheel, and he just lets Tomlin do whatever the fuck he wants. But at the same time, you don't want him to be in the business like Jerry Jones.
Right.
But you need to be in the business a little bit.
And I got you. And here's the thing. I'm taking heat because I didn't know that everything that we made off of this show, you actually put into the private eye group that you started. That does private investigations on who the fuck's running the Steelers. Excuse my French.
I'm sorry for doing homework and not just fucking working on feelings and shit.
Yeah, all right. Like I'm just a feeling-based person.
You are.
Did y'all hear the Bob Twist?
Like,
you are.
I feel that my Tomlin is just a sweet little baby and has no power.
Okay.
He can't do nothing. Poor Mike Tomlin.
Okay.
That poor sweet young man.
Let me hold him to my bosom so he can suckle.
Okay.
He's just a sweet angel that does no wrong.
Do y'all see this shit? Do y'all see this? Hey, dude. When I said I needed them to like, share, and subscribe, I believe you got something to say.
Get in that comment section, man.
And please allow these dudes to know how much of a-holes y'all think that they really are. Because, like, you've seen how they sounded like conjoined twins at the pelvis. When they was like, you are. Like, they said it in sync. They sung it. They was like, you are.
But this is the thing. They can get in the comment section and bash us or whatever the case may be, but rarely are we wrong. Everything I've said thus far has been spot on.
It has been spotty.
Yeah, right.
Like somebody
Listen,
who might be president, who might not be
I told y'all a couple of years ago what's going on with our organization, and we're still here hoping for a playoff win.
Bro, we're going to get it.
And that's all that matters.
We're going to get
all
it.
That
Season
matters.
hasn't even started yet, Wax.
I'm just saying, you guys can disagree, but until there's actual proof of us being a great team, then shut the fuck up.
Damn.
Period.
So that means me too?
That means everybody who disagrees with my take or this man's take or that man's take. Because, like, somebody got to be right, and it's hard.
And I agree.
Holding this crown down.
555 Bully Nation.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get a hold of him. So anybody who doesn't believe in bullying, give this man the rotten tomatoes.
All I'm saying is, you guys are insane to think that we could just turn water into wine. Like, we have to work on certain things to be a great team.
And that's what we're working on, Wax.
And we just keep taking steps backwards. Like, we haven't had a straight quarterback since Big Ben.
You act like every quarterback that's been in there was like, hey, everybody.
I mean,
I tried.
you took it there.
I tried.
You took it there.
But you said straight quarterback.
We haven't had a good quarterback since Big Ben.
Right.
I mean, Justin Fields was decent. Russell Wilson was decent. But, like, look where we've been since
I
Big
agree,
Ben.
bro. I'm not sitting here disagreeing, but for the simple fact that you are just going to blame Tomlin for all of this is just crazy to me. It's madness. It's just madness, bro.
I mean, he puts the people out there to play, right?
In some cases.
He's not. In all cases. He's the head coach, right?
Yeah. I'm not going to take and alleviate and try to, like, make him, not responsible for the way that our performance has been these last few years. I'm just saying it's not all on him.
I get you.
I understand.
That's all. And then, like, I feel like in certain cases he gets crucified. Not just by,
Listen, man, I feel like people forget the debacles we had in the locker rooms under Tomlin's watch with AB, with Le'Veon Bell, with like the Killer Bees,
George.
Yeah, like you know what I mean. Too much stuff goes on.
But when did freedom of speech become a crime, bro?
When you're at your job.
I mean, you ain't allowed to say that you know that what we got going on here, we might need a little bit more. I mean, I know it's about how you go about the whole asking situation, but like when you get hired in a position, people know that there's room for advancements. Now, if you don't have people, we'll say the receivers getting mad at the quarterback. I feel like we need to hire a different quarterback if that's the case. Because obviously the receivers are highly qualified in what they are. You watch and see how George Pickens does down in Dallas. Him and CeeDee Lamb, it's going to be it's going to be a problem. And we got rid of that boy because of his attitude. Let's get him with a mentor. Let's have somebody sit down and talk to him for a hot second. And then see what he does. Now, if he continues to do it, then you get rid of him. You don't just see first signs of it like, here's a problem. I mean, come on, y'all. Now it's to the point to where we're just valuing people for catching the ball and keeping their mouth shut.
So
like,
you don't think Tomlin had nothing to do with him getting traded?
Probably if he allowed it to happen. So, I mean, that means he might have seen something that some of us don't. But in the same sentence, you should be praising him for that because he allowed himself to get rid of the problem, per se, is how y'all feel.
I get it.
So he has to be responsible for making dual decisions, getting rid of people and keeping people. That's a hard situation to have to do. But heavy is the head that bears the crown.
But that's the coach's responsibility.
And I agree, Wax, but
and
I'm not going to blame.
If he can't handle that responsibility, then he doesn't deserve to be here.
He can handle it, but
he hasn't been handling
winning,
he hasn't. That's the major part of this game is to win. But and if he's not winning, then why do we keep him around?
That means that, all right, we'll agree to disagree because
I mean,
we've been on this for about 20 minutes.
But like what I'm saying is, if he's not winning and doing what he's supposed to be doing, why is he still here?
It's a good question.
Right. Or the Steelers. We want championships.
Right.
And we haven't even been able to sniff one in 8 years.
Right.
A playoff win is the start.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the mandatory. You have to win a playoff game before you can even talk about championships. And we haven't won one of those in how long?
But you gotta get the quarterback. And that's our biggest issue is we didn't prepare well with Ben. We let Ben dictate that he was coming back. We let Ben pretty much they didn't want to hurt Ben's feelings by drafting his replacement or anything. So we never prepared well. And then when he's gone, now we're stuck for the last 5 years. Keep getting these retread quarterbacks and these old 42-year-old guy. Like we'll see how it works because he's still got the arm.
Right.
But and that was
musical chairs
right
within the quarterback
and
position.
You're never gonna win like that.
Mm-mm.
I don't feel like it's Tomlin's fault as it is the person that's back there calling the damn offense.
Well, he hired the people calling the offense.
You can only prepare for so much. So Arthur Smith, he may have came with his own game plan opposed to preparing around his offense.
I feel you. But think about the last 3 offensive coordinators we had.
Okay.
They're 2 of them aren't even in football anymore. You got Matt Canada and what was the dude with Randy Sphincter. Like, they're not even coaches anymore.
Dude just like saying his name. He loved it. He was like Sphincter.
And Arthur Smith's not innovative. He can't. He runs an offense like it's the 90s. Mm-hmm. It's like we don't have any innovation, and they're trying to. Because I understand their plan. They're just trying to win like that. With defense and ball control, and that is a way to win, but you got to have the dogs to do it.
Right.
And they've been missing in the draft a lot over the past 10 years. Like I think I've seen like maybe one first round draft pick is still here, and that's T.J. Watt
I
from
was
like,
just
from like the
about to
past
say
eight
that.
or nine,
I was
eight
just
or nine
about to say that.
first round draft picks. And you can't sustain winning if you're missing in the draft. Not everybody misses in the draft every once in a while, but you can't miss that first round as many times as we have.
Yeah.
And think you're going to be able to sustain winning.
Right.
And that's all under Tomlin's tutelage. But I don't know. We could change the subject. I just felt
I
like,
mean, we went in.
yeah.
We did. 15 minutes of this episode consists on how we felt about Tomlin at the helm. Now, moving forward, fellas, I feel like we need to get down in the damn locker room and prepare for this damn season coming up because it's going to be a showstopper.
Yep.
With that being said, you know what they say, fellas. All good things must come to an end. So hopefully our editors and the white coats we paying her back find a good way to chop this episode up and make it pilot worthy for you all because we appreciate you coming on this journey. We love you. We'll see you next week. You know why, Wax?
Why is that?
Because we're coming straight back at them. Same time, same location, different material. Peace.